from midnight of Thursday, the 24th, to Sunday, the 27th. He said all police officers on election duty will be given tags to authenticate their areas of deployment, warning that any police officer caught where he is not deployed to will be detained and dealt with.
We are taking restriction very serious. Stay where you are, provide security where you are deployed. I don't want to student to deploy somebody from one end of the state, he move to the other one. Because one position has put him in a vehicle and say, let's go somewhere. And you go there and begin things that are not supposed to. We should be on ground from now. We should start implementing stop and search. Let people know that you are in town. And with this stop and search, we are going to discover so many things. If you give these politicians, opportunity to be doing things, they are going to give us problem on the day of the election.
The police boss also warned that monies will not be allowed into polling units, adding that thugs and their sponsors will be arrested. Both the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Abila Joseph, and Ondo State Police Commissioner, Hilda Ibifuro Harrison, assured that the police officers will not compromise. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
Ondo governorship election, some political parties are calling for
the idea of postponement. Politicians are the ones that feels the status quo favors them. They don't want to hear that, and the ones that are challenged needs that postponement to enable them sort themselves out.
While 20 political parties, including the PDP, which has pre-election matters in court, are bent on the postponement, the governing APC rejects the call. Preparations are in top gear for the Ondo governorship election, which comes up on Saturday this week. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Burunkudu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission and the Nigerian police have confirmed that the atmosphere in Ondo State is conducive for the forthcoming
to determine their fate.
As at now, the position of the law is that it is the party that amasses the votes, not the candidate, not the individual. So if after Saturday, after the election, and PDP wins, then whoever the court decides or determines as a candidate of the party becomes the governor of the state.
We must amend the constitution to provide timelines for the disposal of all pre-election disputes, so that before, at least 30 days before elections, the people of Ondo State and the people and the people in the various states of the federation, we know with certainty who the candidates of the political parties are, so that we do not have this type of confusion where the people are assuming that election may be postponed.
Civil society organizations believe that the call for postponement of the election from some quarters will be anti-democracy. They called on political parties to brace up to their responsibilities.
By now, we should be talking about issues that issue-based politicking. But unfortunately, we are all interested in knowing what happens in the court and all that.
Because of this do-or-die attitude of the politician, they have tried to rule the judiciary in order to get favorable judgment, knowing full well that judiciary has the last say about an electoral process, which ordinarily should not be.
The case unanimously called on the political actors and the electorate to play the game according to the rules. The Nigeria police also unveiled phone numbers in the event of any emergency to reach out for urgent attention. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The issue that generated some exchanges, however, was that of petitions brought against the NHIS over the federal character principle.
You had 3 North Central, now it's increased to 5. 3 Northeast, increased to 4. 6 Northwest, increased to 9. South, 4, reduced to 3. Southwest, 4, reduced to 1.
It's only fair hearing that the Senate committee has a petition against me to send that petition to me, and I'll be able to answer that.
He's an establishment, not you. The person might be directed at you. It's your establishment that you head. If anything is wrong with your establishment, today you are the head. Even if it is before you, we still have a right to make inquisition.
If it's about institution like this, you don't need, the petition mustn't come to you or be limited to you.
When you go home, can you compare what you have on ground with what you have on paper here?
The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, who was present at the meeting, is expected to engage the senators on these and other issues at a later date. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
With the increasing need to tackle insurgency and protect the nation's territorial waters, the National Assembly says it is committed to improving the budgetary allocation for the Nigerian Navy. Chairman, Senate Committee on Navy, Issa Haman Misau, said this during an oversight visit to the Eastern Naval Command. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma completes the report.
The visit took the committee around various arms of the command to assess the operational platforms of the Navy. Senator Issa Haman Misau, while reiterating the critical role of the Navy in ensuring security, stressed the need to upgrade its facilities to boost operations.
We are going back to the drawing board to see how we can get more money for the Nigerian Navy so that we can assist them to perform their duty effectively. Because without resources, all this, if you look at it, the jetty is nothing to write home about.
Flag Officer Commanding, Eastern Naval Command.
Some of the bottlenecks faced by the agencies.
So there is a need for us to amend the Procurement Act as regards the agricultural sector, to remove them out of the Procurement Act, because agriculture is time-bound. And there is need for the Federal Ministry of Finance also to timely release funds to ministries, to the Ministry of Agriculture, as well as the agencies under the Ministry of Agriculture, for the purpose of discharging their statutory mandate.
The chairman expressed readiness to support the federal government initiative of ensuring food sufficiency and diversification of the country's economy.
We have already passed a resolution to the effect that the Central Bank of Nigeria to come out with a deliberate policy whereby farmers can access loan at single-digit interest rate, and that can be done by the recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture, so that they will have the capacity and the wherewithal to give farmers loans at single-digit interest rate.
Some of the members of the committee also urge the agencies to live up to their responsibilities. Heads of the agencies thank the House Committee on the commitment at ensuring that due process is followed. In Abuja, Ilyasu Aliakubu, NTA News.
And Demola in our Lagos Network studios will now give us top stories from that zone. It's over to you, Demola.
Thank you, Awag.
Express their satisfaction that adequate attention is now being given to these alternative routes.
This one is okay now, perfectly okay. But you need you guys to improve more.
Before, it doesn't be like this. So people always complain. You understand? That's just the thing. Now it's better than before.
Too many people are passing this road, so they need to intervene fast.
With the clement weather and expected improvement in funding, expectations of FEMA officials are quite high that the maintenance job will be completed before the Yuletide rush. In Lagos, Digido, NTA News.
The need for the federal government to be proactive and tactical in its fight against terrorism by adopting new methods to combat security challenges.
He urged everyone to support the government in its fight against terrorism.
This is something that affects our very existence as a people. It's something that takes lives and drains off a lot of resources, which can be used for other developmental purposes.
Some of the participants commended the initiators of the conference.
This time around, everyone has to be prepared for his own protection.
Each and every one of us, we have a major role to play.
The conference is the second edition with the key objectives of promoting industrial security, safety education, and training in Nigeria. In Lagos, Rotimi NTA News.
East without adequate food
water, proper sanitation or medical care in their camps. In furtherance of its corporate social responsibility, apart from protecting the nation's territorial integrity, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, launched the Personal Voluntary Contributory Support Scheme.
As a result of this situation, that the NAV personnel came together and decided to voluntarily donate money and material towards meeting some of the needs of our IDPs in the Northeast.
National President Nafoa Hafsat Sadiq Abubakar promised judicious and transparent distribution of the items to the concerned persons, targeted at 2,000 families.
And we know that this kind of donation is not going to be a one-time effort, and we look forward to carry out more outreaches to the IDP camps in the future with the NAV's full support from time to time.
She reiterated NAFOA's continued commitment to contributing towards improving the quality of lives of the affected. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And still staying with the military, Theatre Commander, Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Leo Irabo says no local government in the northeast is under the control of Boko Haram. He said this during a press conference on Operation Lafia Dole. While enumerating the achievements and challenges during the operations to combat the insurgents, he assured Nigerians of the commitment of the armed forces to protecting life.
Budgetary provision. And there might be need, therefore, to look into the private sector for support in the area of infrastructure development.
A lot of things you are able to analyze, see, and criticize go a long way in fine-tuning some of our actions and policies towards adding value to the system.
Participants and the national state government also identified the need for peaceful coexistence as one of the surest way to woo investors to invest in the abundant solid minerals deposit in the state. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
And Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosu has presented an appropriation bill of 221.1 billion naira for the 2017 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly. The governor, while presenting the bill, expressed his administration's commitment to a successful budget performance through massive internally generated revenue drive in spite of the present economic challenges in the country. Lekon Agbodi completes the report.
Christian budget of repositioning, it represents an increase of 10.45% compared to the 2016 appropriation bill. Governor Amosun, who said that the 2016 appropriation bill recorded
is next in our lineup on Nationwide this Wednesday. Shehu will now give us details of top stories from that zone. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Hawa, and welcome to JOS. Officers and men of the Nigerian Army and military engaged in the fight against insurgency and security challenges have been urged to utilize all needed strategies towards sustaining peace in Plateau State. Chief of Defense Staff General Gabriel Olonishakin said this while on a working visit to JOS. Yusuf Umar has more.
That was the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonishakin, on his arrival at the Yakubu Gowon Airport, Haipan. He was received by heads of military and paramilitary formations on the plateau and proceeded to the headquarters of the Special Task Force. Addressing officers of the Special Task Force, General Olonishakin charged them to be committed, dedicated, and exhibit high professionalism in efforts at restoring lasting peace on the plateau and Nigeria as a whole. General Olonishakin said he is fully aware of the challenges they faced, and it is being addressed to raise their morals in the fight against insurgency and other security challenges bedeviling the country.
Operations of these natures have objectives, they have timeline. What they have been sent here to do is to
members of the public during the ember period.
The people should continue to be law-abiding and to do their best to keep crime away from them by being friendly with the police and always report any suspicious movement around them.
The The AIG was also at the internally displaced people's camp Bukuru to visit and identify with the IDPs. Taking him round, the camp coordinator, Pastor Darren Mancha, spoke on the challenges the camp was facing in areas of accommodation, health, and camp schooling. Zone 4 covers Plateau State, Benue, and Nasarawa states. From the Police Officers' Mess, Jos, Rinvet Lot, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Jos. Hawa is back to you.
Many thanks, Shehu. And you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android devices at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. It's nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We take some messages now. The news continues shortly.
This is a happy moment for me and for all Nigerians.
Amina Ali Nkeke, the first Chibok schoolgirl to be rescued in the renewed onslaught against the Boko Haram insurgency.
Amina's rescue gives us new hope.
Federal government has formally received the 21 abducted Chibok girls.
These dear daughters of ours have seen the worst that the world has to offer. It is now time for them.
502-9637 0803-450-9726 0909-9708-111. Horizon Caterers. Experience catering beyond the horizon.
Flash.
I have gone.
Yeah, sign to a chair. I don't carry on gone. I should turn for flash. How like this? Flash, I don't die.
That's him. Hey, if we move, I shoot.
That man at the smoke and something. But better.
Small. You know, say flying bullet, you get it.
This week on your award-winning comedy series, Professor John Bull, starring Kanayo Okanayo, Funky Malam, Bimbo Akintola, Ime Bishop, Junior Pope, Stephen Odingbe.
If somebody are hold on gone for inside the people, what thing are they carry and do? Nobody to shoot the people.
And you. Tuesday.
Jumo baby with a big
Informer. You see him for your eye wearing shoot flash. Yes, sir.
Professor John Bull, fasten your seatbelts this Tuesday and Friday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. on NTA Network, International, and Star Times.
Touch it, please. Touch it. I beg in the name of God.
Over and out.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
A Properties Investment Company Limited, a subsidiary of the Nigerian Television Authority, specializes in creating comfort in all areas of life, such as real estate investments, that is, land, houses, and office spaces, mast leasing, savings and loan scheme, household items and car loans, and so much more. Other informations and entertainment services include Property in Style, a TV program that airs on the network service of the NTA, and also Property Connect.
Enjoy the exceptional hospitality. See the enchanting spectacle. Feel the friendly warmth. Join the celebration at Abuja Carnival Reloaded. It's a celebration of culture, a world-class event, the best cultural party ever. It's a carnival of change. Abuja Carnival 2016. Theme: the creative industry, pivot to economic growth. Destination: Abuja Capital City. Date: December 3rd to 6th, 2016. Abuja Carnival, a truly national carnival.
It's good to know you're still on to Nationwide on the NTA. Moving to other matters now. 9 officers have been dismissed by the police for using their positions to aid crime and criminality. Force Public Relations Officer DCP Don Awuna stated this at the force headquarters while parading the 9 officers along 45 principal suspects arrested for armed robbery, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and car snatching. Adino Justice completes the report.
The alleged crimes of the 9 policemen include aiding and abetting serious crimes. He said the arrest was made possible through intelligence from 2 suspects in Adamawa State, which also led to the arrest of 19 more suspects. Others were 5 suspected armed robbers from Kogi State.
Personnel of the corps who use their official capacities to carry out or get involved in any misconduct are singled out and dealt with according to the law to serve as deterrent to others. Process to progressively sanitize the system of unprofessional and criminally minded personnel will continue and will be sustained. The IGP is assuring the Nigerians, assuring all Nigerians of adequate security and commitment of the Nigerian police force to work as seriously to further reduce the rate of crime and criminality across the country.
DCP Awona also stated that 2 other persons were arrested in Lagos and Ogun State for conspiracy to supply explosives. Items recovered include 6 cars, 14 AK-47, automatic rifles, pistols, and different sizes of locally made guns, ammunition, and magazines. Aiding of Justice, NTA News.
And still staying with security matters, the fight against corruption is receiving a boost as it goes beyond investigation and prosecution to blocking the loopholes in public and private organizations. Director, Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria, Professor Shola Akinriade stated this during the presentation of certificates to corruption risk assessors after completion of training at the Anti-Corruption Academy. Suleiman Ove Musa completes the report.
The training, which was supported by the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, drew its participants from civil society organizations and anti-corruption agencies in Nigeria with the aim of giving the participants the required knowledge on how best to tackle corruption in public and private sectors.
The emphasis is shifting from enforcement to prevention. The future of the war against corruption, both nationally and internationally, is placed
from 4 billion naira monthly to 6 billion naira because of improved security in the state. The governor was speaking when he played health to participants of the Senior Course 39 of the Command and State College Jaji at Government House, Port Harcourt. Deepa Barisede Banwoke completes the story. Addressing the participants of the Senior Course 39 of the Command and Staff College, Governor Wike noted that for public-private partnership to strive, there must be an enabling environment that will win investors' confidence. The governor explained that the state has running projects with public-private partnership and is still willing to partner with more investors to enhance the socio-economic development of the state. He urged them to visit some of the state's projects on public-private partnership to gain practical knowledge with an assurance of the necessary assistance for the success of their program.
Encourage the partnership of private investors and government in order to enhance economic development is key. But one of the major things that will give that confidence is the environment, security. If the security is not there, there's no way investors can have the confidence. So security is key for them to have confidence to come and partner with government.
Leader of the team and rector, Department of Joint Studies Command and Staff College Jaji, Brigadier General Johnson Irafe, said the theme of this year's study is enhancing economic development through public-private partnership. He remarked that the core student officers will be attached to the critical sector of the state with direct impact on the nation's economy. In Port Harcourt, Dibaba Risede Maweke, NTA News. With the new date for the State and National Assembly rerun election in sight, civil society groups and key stakeholders have commenced actions in earnest towards driving a peaceful electoral process. This is coming as Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in the state says it is taking steps to unravel the fake result sheet printing allegation. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Like the previous elections, preparations have commenced in earnest, especially among the key political parties as they strategize towards winning. While these are welcomed in every democratic and civilized society, there are concerns for the respect of the people's will as will be expressed through the ballots.
People should play their part given to them either by the law establishing them or the constitution.
Let others go and campaign the way we are campaigning.
Let others preach peace the way we're preaching this peace.
There have been instances in the past where the key actors have pledged to play by the rules. This time, analysts say it is necessary they keep to the terms, especially given that the state is currently underrepresented.
As a matter of fact, if all stakeholders, concerned stakeholders, whether major or minor, civil society, market women, youth, opinion leader, comes together to agree upon a particular thing, we will get it done.
In the meantime, INEC in the state, in a statement signed by the Secretary to the Commission, Mrs. Augusta Ogaku, said it is not privy to and never authorized the alleged fake result sheet printing, insisting that it is working with the police to unravel the incident. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amatri, NTA News.
And that's a bit from here. Hawa is back to you for the rest of Nationwide.
Many thanks, Mina. Policymakers and experts from national, regional and international organizations are strategizing on possible solutions to the growing problem of illicit drug trafficking, related organized crimes and drug abuse in West Africa. Joseph Johnson reports that the event is expected to greatly assist Nigeria in curbing transnational border drug trafficking.
The globalized world in which we live today has brought free movement of people and goods, which generate economic opportunities and regional integration. At the same time, it has also led to increased opportunities for organized criminal groups to traffic illicit goods and engage in smuggling across borders. Nigeria, and indeed the West African region, is no exception to these trends and challenges. How to tackle these issues is the reason why these experts are gathered here.
The European Union as a priority, leading together, trying to restabilize the region.
The two projects are funded by the European Union.
This conference will assist Nigeria in a very big way because all the resources we've been spending, our governments have been spending on these issues, and if there is any weak link somewhere in the sub-region, all these efforts will be wasted.
We need to work together in this fight against drugs and organised crime to make it work properly.
But working together to tackle these challenges will need trust and commitment from member states. And at the end of the deliberations, it is hoped that a well-drafted action plan will ensue. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
Thanks, Joseph. And motorists flying the Kano-Maiduguri route commend.
They should be able to synergize and to see how they can get these speed limiting devices for their members, because there's no going back on the enforcement day.
In a presentation, Senator Lawal Ali, who owns a transport fleet, attested to the efficacy of speed limiter and as an effective tool for driver control.
It can only work when there's a device that will monitor the speed limiter itself, the functions of the speed limiter, because the speed limiter after installation could always fail. So how do you know that the speed limiter has failed? So there has to be the mechanism to ascertain whether or not the speed limiter is functioning.
The Emir of Zozo, Alhaji Shehu Idris, represented vendors and various road transport unions, commended the efforts of FRSC to save lives and the need to put in place modalities that will ensure the device is readily available and at affordable cost. In Kaduna, I am Indian and Abuja, NTA News.
And motorists plying Kano-Maiduguri Road in Dutse have commended federal governments and contractors handling its dualization at the various sections of the project. Habib Hussein visited the site at Shuarin to assess the progress of the work as ultimatum given for the completion is approaching.
Some months back, Minister of State Power, Works and Housing Alhaji Mustapha Babashehuri visited the site of the various sections of the project to assess the progress of work and ginger the contractors to speed up. Section 2 of the project, with contract number 5879, covers Shuarun Jama'ari.
Each free exercise with innovative projects, especially for the poor, to perform pilgrimages. Talatu Ezirike reports that this was the position of discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live.
Pilgrimages, especially to Israel, many say is not only biblical, but a spiritual rejuvenation, and that over 20,000 Christians are expected to perform the 2016 exercise to Israel, Rome, and Greece. Coordinating body, the National Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, has over the years introduced innovative programs like the Sponsor a Pilgrim to Israel in building a people of righteousness and character.
I went to one state recently, and the governor sponsored some people to go to pilgrimage. That governor is a Muslim, and they told me that he has only 2 requests. That he wants the Christians who are going on pilgrimage to pray for his state and for him, and to pray for the president and the vice president. That these people mean well, and if God helps them, they will transform this nation.
We are going on this pilgrimage to pray for our own country. I want you to know that a lot of prayers have been poured up to heaven concerning Nigeria. Things probably will have been worse than this, but we are grateful to God, and that all who go will always pray.
For others, pilgrimage should be for both spiritual and material gains. Reasons for the NCPC introducing skills acquisition.
We teach people. I give one example about a particular sister. Started with, after visiting the site, started with few beds, about 15 of them. As that when she came to do a presentation to us, she has over 5,000 beds.
So I encourage every Christian, every child of God who is healthy and alive to go to Israel before you go to heaven.
The 2016 exercises hope to end within the same calendar year and feature plans to make Nigeria a pilgrimage hub. Talati Ezarike, NTA News.
And on the foreign scene, United States President-elect picked South Carolina's Governor Nikki Haley as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Plus, tension mounts in DR Congo as President Kabila postpones elections to April 2018. Gabriel Audu has more on Global Tidbits.
President Joseph Kabila of the Democratic Republic of Congo has postponed presidential elections due to hold this month, November 27, 2016, to April 2018. President Kabila's second and last term is to elapse next month. Meanwhile, a coalition